It's okay for you to go out and sin today, but in no more proportions than this. You can have 4 venial sins, 4 mortal, and let's give you 2 borderline kind of sins. And if it's inconvenient for you to go to Mass, that's okay. Don't bother. If you were to hear me say those words to you on a regular basis, you'd say, he is not teaching what the church teaches. He is, in fact, a false prophet. That's the situation we have in today's first reading. We have Hananiah and we have Jeremiah. Hananiah is the false prophet who takes it on himself to tell the people what they want to hear. You know, it's okay to just kind of go along to get along. It's all right. You don't have to live out of the law. You don't have to live out of your faith. And then Jeremiah bursts upon the scene and says, no, don't listen to him. This is what God wants you to hear. In my role as your pastor, as a priest and a homilist, I have a responsibility to teach the truth of our faith, not just merely my own opinions or the opinions of whatever is popular in our culture at the time. In other words, it's not my job, and nor is it something that you want or expect to hear from me, just what you may want to hear, what makes it easy and convenient, rather than what challenges us to be good disciples of Jesus. Gospel reading points out today just how generous God is with us, and certainly in feeding us, but also in the reflection of St. Alphonsus Liguori, whose feast we celebrate today, in the whole idea of mercy and forgiveness. St. Alphonsus lived in a time where there was a real rigorous tendency among some members of the church who saw little hope for salvation for people. Didn't think that was really possible for them. They shouldn't receive communion unless they were absolutely perfect. St. Alphonsus came on the scene saying, no, it's important that people receive communion and receive it often, that the experience of the sacrament of reconciliation should not be one of browbeating, not one of dire punishment, but rather an expression of God's mercy, God's kindness. Not to the point where, people would begin presuming God's mercy, but again, to experience God's tenderness. As people of faith today, we want to hear the truth. But we want to have others join us in living this truth and to realize that the way to invite them in is with an act of mercy, an act of kindness, an act of tenderness. So let's live out our faith today. Let's seek to be faithful Catholic Christians who truly want the truth. And at the same time, let's be men and women who are men and women of mercy, of inviting others always to join us.